Hi, Otto here for Bavarian Autosport. In this video, we'll show you how easy it is to replace a faulty window regulator on an E46 3 Series BMW. Most later model 3, 5, and 7 Series BMWs use cable-operated window regulators, and these procedures will be somewhat similar to this. The applicable Bentley repair manual will detail the procedure for each model. Note that this model does have side airbags. In this case, disconnect the negative battery cable before beginning. This will prevent the generation of any SRS fault codes as well as any accidental firing of the airbag. We must first remove the interior door trim panel. This E46 3 Series front door trim panel has 5 securing screws, 1 under the mirror switch or trim filler panel, 2 under the armrest, and 2 behind the wood trim panel. We'll use a non-marring pry tool to remove the plastic trim covers so we can access the screws. On the driver's door, we would remove the power mirror switch in the same manner as the trim panel on this passenger door. Note the orientation of the alignment tabs on the covers. Use a Torx bit to remove the 3 securing screws. We'll now remove the upper trim panel. In this case, the trim is wood. Pry the end of the panel from the main door interior panel and carefully work toward the front of the panel. Note the 4 securing clips. Remove the 2 Torx head screws. The panel is secured to the door by a number of push clips around the perimeter. Use the non-marring pry tool to gently pry the clips from the door. Slide the tool between the door and the trim panel and move it up and down to locate the clips. Pry at the clip locations. Once all of the clips are released, pull the panel from the upper edge clips. Before fully removing the panel, we must release the door handle cable. Reach behind the panel and release the cable securing clip by pulling the rear end of the clip away from the handle housing. Now release and disconnect the speaker wiring harness and plugs. We can now see the vapor barrier panel. Move the speaker wiring out of the way and use a Torx bit to remove the mirror memory module. Use a 10mm socket to remove the airbag. Disconnect the harness plug from the airbag as shown. Place the airbag away from the work area with the face of the unit pointing upward. Remove the vapor barrier using the non-marring pry tool. Be careful not to damage the vapor barrier panel and try to keep the adhesive intact. In order to disconnect the window from the regulator, we must reconnect the battery cable. Click pause and read the text shown here. Loosen the two 10mm nuts on the window mounting brackets. Do not fully remove the nuts. Pull the window out of the brackets and lift it fully into the raised position. The regulator assembly is secured by 5 10mm nuts. Remove the harness plug from the motor. Remove the 5 10mm regulator mounting nuts. Remove any zip ties or other clamps or guides on the regulator's operating cables. Loosen the forward regulator rail and then loosen and pull out the rear rail. Tilt the top of the forward rail down and to the rear. Pull the front rail down and out of the door. Oops, there's another cable clamp. Remove the 3 Torx head bolts that secure the motor to the regulator assembly. Twist the motor and remove it from the regulator. Install the motor to the new regulator assembly by pushing the drive gear into place and then twisting the motor into the mounting bracket. Install the 3 mounting bolts. Install the cable guide clamp on the lower cable. Install the regulator assembly into the door by installing the forward rail first, then the rear rail. Line the rail mounting studs up with the mounting holes in the door frame. Install the 5 mounting nuts. Pop the cable guide clip into place. We now need to bring the window mounting brackets on the new regulator into position with the door frame access points. Click pause and read the text shown here. Pull the window down and position it into the plastic mounting brackets on the guide rails. Tighten the 2 mounting nuts. If you wish, you can connect the motor harness plug, reconnect the airbag, and connect the battery cable and test the motor, regulator, and window operation. Here we did not reconnect the airbag since we have the proper SRS reset tool to clear any fault codes that may be generated. Finish the assembly in the reverse order and you'll be done in no time.